More AD on the radio.
Oh, check it out. Action sports legend, freestyle motocross superstar, and all-around nice guy, and head honcho of the Nitro Circus, Travis Pastrana is here. Hey, get up on that microphone. Just give it a quick test of 1, 2.
Cool. Yeah, check 1, 2, check. Hey, how's it going? Something like that. Smile, talk, laugh. Papa John's Pizza. Bob's your uncle.
It's very good. It's great already. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are thrilled to be joined by none other than Travis Pastrana himself, head honcho of Nitro Circus, which is rolling through Qualcomm Stadium on Saturday. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
It's tough to say Travis Pastrana the blank because there's literally so much that you do. So let's start with all of the X Games gold medals: Supercross, motocross, freestyle motocross, rally racing. You jumped out of a plane without a parachute.
I mean, Johnny Utah did it. It's kind of pass or fail, right? How hard could it be?
Yeah, it's definitely pass or fail. We're going to talk all about Nitro Circus in just a little bit, but how does someone like you, freestyle motocross legend, rally racer, all of the above, how does that happen? At what point when you're growing up do you go, this is what I want to do with my life?
Well, for me, I mean, my dad and all my family work construction. He said, look, I'll support you in your motorcycles as far as you get up and, you get good grades and you go out and you run a mile before every day of school, starting in elementary school. And he goes, you're never going to make it as an athlete. So take every day that you get to get up and have that smile on your face and get to live and do what you love to do and go as far as you can with it. And my reality's never set in. So yeah, as a kid, I just wanted to ride everything, jump everything. If it had a motor or I could, some kind of speed, I was all over it.
Yeah, I mean, lots of kids go, hey, let's build a ramp and then break something and never do anything ever again. How did it go from, hey, let's jump some stuff? And because what you do, like you've kind of invented a genre, or at least you're part of inventing a genre, like, something like Nitro Circus when you were a kid growing up, that didn't really exist.
No, as a kid, I mean, X Games started when I was probably third or fourth grade and got to see, guys like, I mean, honestly, San Diego is the mecca, like you were saying, mecca of the universe for action sports. And you had Bob Burnquist, Tony Hawk, like all these guys, the Dave Miras, and all looked up to them. And then motorcycles, when I was 15 years old, got brought into the X Games. Yeah. And my life changed. I was like, yes.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, when did you know this was going to be your life, your career?
I always thought it wasn't going to be a career, but I was like, I loved it, and the wheels haven't fallen off the train yet, so I have to run it.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The whole thing where you jumped out of a plane, no parachute, met somebody who did happen to have a parachute on the way down. That was convenient. And like you said, kind of a pass or fail thing. Why?
It's our job in action sports is to figure out something that blows people's minds. It's when everyone's jaws dropped, you've done a good job. And, most of the stuff, it's really difficult to do that. But I started skydiving and I'm like, you know what? It's not that hard to fly around. And we found some guys, like, I'm not great, but some of the guys around were so absolutely amazing. I mean, they could catch an anvil that got dropped off 10 seconds in front of them. As it turns out, it's illegal, though, so it was not a great idea to do. And yeah, but after a year, I got my license back, and it's all good.
It's amazing. We'll get into what people are going to see at Nitro Circus on Saturday at Qualcomm in just a little bit. But your wife's on the tour with you. Lindsay Adams Hawkins Pastrana.
Yeah, she's from right up the road.
Yeah. Cardiff, so, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You 2 kids now?
Yeah, I have two little girls, and it's funny, everyone says, man, how could you travel around with your family? And I'm like, man, when we go home, they're so bored. Like, we travel with 40 of the most energetic, enthusiastic, athletes, if you want to call them that, but just guys that love riding skateboards and motorcycles and bicycles. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's someone up, and at 11 o'clock at night, there's somebody up. And when we travel with that many people, the planes feel like a private plane. The buses, it's like your own bus, like anything you travel. And when they're not on a plane with all of our friends, they just keep jumping from seat to seat. It's really not the best there.
I mean, given the fact that you do what you do, your wife does what she does. Wasn't she the first female skater to be on the mega ramp?
First female skater to do a mega ramp. First female skater to do a McTwist 540. So yeah, she's that's actually how we kind of met, was through Nitro. I was looking to get more girls in the show, and they're unicorns, man. They don't make a lot that like to do the huge jumps and that kind of stuff. And Lindsay, she came out and she jumped on the big wheels over the huge gap. I mean, I'm talking 70-foot roll in with jumping kids' toys, basically over 50, 60-foot gaps.
Yeah.
And she jumps in the sidecar on this guy on a bicycle for the first time, and the guy bails off, and she lands upside down underneath the sidecar. And I was like, oh man, that's
for me. That's
Let me drive. I got it.
I finally met the one. So, given the genetic material that make up your kids, is there any hope, or will they be doing parachute free jumps out of airplanes and all of the above that their parents do?
Both of our daughters, I mean, we have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. They both ride 4-wheelers. Our oldest rides dirt bikes and BMX races and everything, which is, I guess, somewhat young for that kind of stuff. But it's what they grow up around. And I tried to give them a golf club. They didn't seem to like it so much yet. But, I figure if they're half as passionate as their mom, Lindsay, and myself, at whatever they do, then I think we've succeeded. So hopefully it's something safer. But at the end of the day, my job in Nitro now is safety. It's building these ramps to make it bigger and crazier, but also safer.
Right. Wow. So as we were talking about, it seems inconceivable that this is the first time Nitro Circus has ever made it to San Diego. I saw that. I was like, surely not. No. How's that even possible?
It is quite amazing. We wanted to make sure, honestly, we started the show over in Australia. We ran New Zealand. We went to Europe. And then we came to the U.S. U.S. is a tough market. These guys, everyone's seen everything. And San Diego, you guys are some of the best in the world at skate, at BMX, at moto. Like, this is the Mecca. When we come here, we wanted to make sure that this show was going to kick some butt. And,
right.
I think we finally have that. Right. So,
were you really holding off on San Diego? Like, all right, if we're going to do our show in this town, kind of like the epicenter of so many of these disciplines, we have to come correct.
Yeah, it's like, most like rock bands or something, like we did Madison Square Garden and the O2 Arena in London. And yeah, but it's in a city that they're going to be wowed by, not to be that person, but they don't see this stuff all the time.
Sure.
They're like, oh, dude, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But you come to San Diego.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody surf, skate, snow. Especially the boards, but even on the stars, moto in the industry is just here, man. So we've got 2 bangers at the very end that we've never had in the show. And in Nitro, there's something that new that happens every show.
Right.
So the fact that it's kind of scary, but at the end of the day, and everyone's on their game because we got World Championships next week. So everybody they're using this as their last practice session before, going to contest. And it's going to be one heck of a show.
More with Travis coming up next.
Leave the stimulation to the professionals.
Everyone is so smart.
KBRC, more stimulating talk radio.
There's something happening here, and you should know what it is. The Dumbing Up of America.
Now, more AD on the radio.
So if you are just joining us, we have been joined by freestyle motocross legend, multiple X Games gold medalist, and all-around nice guy, plus head honcho of Nitro Circus, Travis Pastrana. So if someone's never been, doesn't know what Nitro Circus is all about, what can they expect there?
Nitro Circus is first and foremost the best in the world of action sports. Skate, moto, so even scooters now. I tell you, I
was looking earlier. I was like, scooters. I would like to see that.
The best athlete on our tour, and it pained me to say it for a couple years, but he's a scooter rider, and he dropped the scooter, and he went and won the world championship at Nitro Games last year in big air BMX.
Wow.
Triple front flips on bike. He just took all the scooter tricks and just made it work on BMX and kind of shut all of us up. And I tell you what, Nitro has always been about people that want to push the limits, and not necessarily about who's the coolest, but just who is the gnarliest.
Right.
And that's what you get. So, but beyond that, there's so many parents, and especially moms, are like, oh yeah, I got to go to Nitro Circus, and they leave. It's the camaraderie, and that you can see that every time, especially towards the end of the show, everyone's trying something they've never tried, and they're throwing stuff down, and just that camaraderie when someone lands something. We'll send everything down that ramp, from boogie boards to lawn chairs to you name it. And it's a show as well, so it'll be fun.
If like a mom does bring their kid to the show, and son or daughter goes, "Mom, I want to do that," besides the initial okay. Do schools exist where people can go? Like, because now, people like you have developed these as true disciplines. It went from like, look at this daredevil to this is a real legitimate sport with enormous athletes and very sort of structured competitions and all of the above in a lot of these different disciplines. But is there a place where someone can go to learn how to do a backflip on a motorcycle?
The best places to go, Camp Woodward. They have Camp Woodward West just north of here, and Woodward East in Pennsylvania, which is right by my house. And that's pretty awesome. I mean, at the end of the day, most of the guys learned flips on motorcycles, including myself, without foam pits. So now that we have airbags and this kind of stuff, I mean, can't let just anyone on, but if you're passionate about it, there's, you can get there and figure out ways to get in. And Nitro Circus, that's one of the biggest things that we're doing. We have open qualifying for the Nitro World Games, which we hold once a year as an event. And we have all the airbags and all the safest stuff and the biggest ramps set up for 3 months before the qualifiers. So really anyone that, that can basically get themselves out here to Paris, California, for those 3 months and have access to everything.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The other thing that in doing a little digging around on you, knowing that you were coming in today, one thing I found out, you went to college at University of Maryland?
Yeah, University of Maryland. Well, what was interesting, so I was homeschooled, and I broke my back when I was 15. So I was in a wheelchair for a little bit and graduated high school at 15 because my mom was very strict on education, and she said I couldn't turn pro, which you could turn pro at 16 until I graduated. Right. So I was like, well, I can't wait till I'm 18, so I better get to work, starting in the 5th grade. Right. But when I broke my back, I just ended up starting to enroll in a couple Anne Arundel Community College and some online University of Maryland classes, just more so to start communications and minor in English.
Well, that was going to be my question. I was like, what did you... Travis Pastrana is clearly involved in other stuff. If he goes to college, what's he studying? And so it was English and communications?
Yeah, English turned into American Lit, which I wasn't good in. Communications was the only subject where you only had one math class to pass, so I could get through college algebra okay. Math, not my favorite subject.
That's so cool. And because the other thing is, look, besides the fact that you are the gold standard of all the things that you do, action sports related, rally racing, all the above, you also have this brainchild, this massive, just the idea of pulling off a tour of this stature and then having competition events and qualifiers and all it's mind-boggling. And so that's what I was just like, I wonder if he went to college for business or what the hell.
That would have been smart. For sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's another thing I wanted to touch on. It's a huge honor to have you in the studio and to meet you because you've accomplished so much. But the fact that you can be this kind of athlete in so many different disciplines and then run a successful tour. Well, how the hell do you do that?
My dad always said, he goes, look, if you're doing it right, you're the dumbest person at the table. So
explain, what do you mean?
As silly as that sounds, you find passionate people that are really good at what they do, and you surround yourself with good people. Like for Nitro, I was very fortunate that a lot of my good friends were really awesome athletes, hard workers, and just wanted to be able to travel the world. So when we started doing this and we started figuring out how it was working, we started putting people we got lawyers and we got people that also were passionate about action sports, that loved what we were doing, that wanted to maybe travel or maybe wanted to stay home, but wanted to be a part of it. And now when I sit down in the board meetings and in the table, my job is creative. My job is ramps. My job is riders. I'm trying to get those guys to do the biggest stuff possible, the safest possible. And I don't have to worry about the numbers. I don't have to worry about, any of the math.
With all that stuff going on, I mean, you don't have to worry about numbers. You don't have to worry about math. But you're focused on safety. You're focused on growing the show. You're focused on progressing the sport. When you get out to ride, how do you have to be completely focused on what you're doing in that moment. You can't be like, I wonder what the take at concessions is tonight. How do you clear all that out and then just focus on the whole not dying thing while you're doing what you do?
It's really easy because I love riding, and everyone says, man, with 2 kids now and a wife and why? And I say, because every time I get hurt, it's not the broken bone or the pain that I'm bummed out about. It's the fact that I can't ride. So why would I stop riding to avoid the broken bones and stuff? And that's, at the end of the day, I push myself riding further than I should. And as I get older, it takes a little longer to heal. And you'll see at this show, there's younger guys doing much bigger and more awesome stuff. But I love to be out there.
You love it. Yeah, you have to do it. So do you think you were it's interesting because Dave Grohl's mom wrote a book about what it was like to raise a rock star. And in that book, she has interviews that she did with other rock stars' moms. And the whole thing was like, at what stage did you know there was no turning back in this? So would you say it was around 13 or so that it became a must, where you, like this thing you talk about, you love to ride, you have to, you're bummed out when you can't. Did that hit like around 13?
Yeah, probably a little earlier for me. So in the 6th grade, I finally convinced, from the 2nd grade to the 6th grade, or 5th grade, I was like, I want to go homeschooled. I want to go race. And I lived, starting from the 6th grade, I lived in my winters, because it's from Maryland where it's cold, in a trailer park in Florida, so I could ride the Winter Series, which was the best competition for motorcycles. Yeah. And my dad worked construction all week and would fly down on the weekends. My mom worked weekends as a flight attendant. So there was always someone that could kind of watch over me, and they made huge sacrifice for that. But they said, look, you just, as long as you're trying and it's a good experience. But my dad did not want to take me out of school. Right. He's like, look, you're not going to go live in Florida. Like, this is not going to work. And then, we won the national championships when I was 8 years old. And he's like, all right, like it might go somewhere. But I think when I was 14, I dislocated basically both SI joints, which was the third known case in medical history. So basically my spinal...
Wow, so you're not just groundbreaking in terms of how you ride and the stunts that you do and jumping out of airplanes. You also have groundbreaking injuries. Hey, I'm the first to do this.
Yeah, I should have bled out, basically. But,
that's amazing.
So my spine basically went 3 centimeters down through my hip and pelvis, and my pelvis just shattered. My mom was just... I woke up... Actually, I hurt myself in Arizona, and I woke up in California 2 weeks later. After 6 blood transfusions and all this other stuff, and my mom was like, "Are you sure?" Just bawling. You don't have to keep riding. I can't see you do this. And my first thing was, well, is that jump still going to be there? Can I try it again? Right. And she just looked and she had to laugh, going, well, I guess we're in for it then.
Yeah. No, I mean, it just, because it sounds like a similar sort of age and a similar to what like Dave Grohl's mom said. It was around this age that she and other parents of other rock stars realized this will not be, traditional graduate high school, go to college, get a job kid that I've got on my hands. I better figure out how we're going to deal with it. And it's amazing that the same thing happened for you. It's an incredible honor. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but
well, thank you for your time, man.
Oh man, this has been a really big deal having you come in. Nitro Circus tomorrow. Anything else people need to know about this?
Nitro Circus, man, I tell you, we've got so many new contraptions, so much stuff. We've been touring the world this is our 10th year, and this is the first time we're bringing it to San Diego, because it truly is. It's a show that, man, the guys, how far they push. Like I was racing cars earlier this year and took a few months off, and I came back last weekend to my first show on the U.S. tour, and I'm blown away. So if you love action sports, you'll love it. If you don't love action sports, it's still like, it's exciting. It's something you got to see to believe, kind of thing.
No, I always say this about Nitro Circus. Like, if you know action sports, then you know this is an insane event and this is an incredible thing. If you know nothing about action sports, same deal. You'll understand it the moment you see it. Tremendously entertaining, just ridiculous, edge of your seat stuff the entirety of the time.
No, I appreciate it. I think anyone goes, and we got, for the first time ever, we're trying to snowmobile front flip in the show. So supposed to kind of save that maybe, but I'm excited.
Well, the anticipation is there. Like snow, okay. I'm just trying to...
There's no snow in San Diego.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Like, there's so many about that, about what you just said, that I can't wait to see it. It's awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Travis.
Thanks for coming.